Hey guys, so I'm just making this really quick because the family's out of the house for a little bit and I had some time off. So I thought, perfect, I can not have to vlog in the middle of the road like I've been doing. So I had talked about how I wanted to make a video about homesickness and like some of the issues I've faced being an au pair so far. So with homesickness, it's hard. I'm not normally someone who would get homesick really easily, and like I would be able to go to Girl Scout camp and be fine, or I could go to a friend's house and for the most part be fine, when I was younger. So I never really was a homesick person, but being here is completely different. Like, I was so naive to come here thinking, oh, it'll be fine, like I'll get right into it and I'll have no problems. Completely wrong. One of the biggest things I had misinterpreted or miscalculated in my head was the fact that the farthest I ever removed from home was an hour and 15 minutes. When I moved to school, that was the furthest I'd lived, and if I was really upset, I could be like, Dad, I'm really upset, like, can you come for dinner? I'll make dinner or something, like super easy. Or if I miss my brother, I could just call him and be like, hey, see if you and Dad can come over or something. So it was really easy to just go back home and see my friends and my family and stuff. When I had first moved into college, it was like every other weekend I went home. And then each year I kind of progressed into not going as often. And by the time I was a senior, so just a couple months ago basically, I'd go home maybe every month and a half or so, every other month. And that was fine. Like, it worked fine. I was growing up, I was really busy with my thesis. So I didn't have time really to be homesick. So I felt like, oh, I can just go a long time without seeing my friends and family. Like, it's fine, I'll be fine. Knowing that I could just go home really quick, or have my dad or my brother or my mom, someone, like, if I needed to go home or if there was an emergency, I was an hour and a half away. Mom lives a little further. She lives near San Francisco, so bit more of a trek, but I know if I needed her, she would have been there in a second. Moving to the other side of the world is considerably harder. I'm getting all emotional about it. Like, it's been like 2 months, and anyways, so every mornings for me are the hardest, because it's kind of like at school, I could wake up in the morning and be like, no, I'm not going to class today. No, I'm not going to class. So I still wake up with that feeling of, I can wake up and be like, no, I think I want to go back to Oregon. I think I'm done in Ireland. But I can't. I know realistically, if I was, woke up one day and I was like, I can't, I'm done, it would be really bad and I would feel horrible for just ditching, which brings me to another point that I'll talk about later. But if I had to, I know I could have someone buy me a plane ticket home and I pay them back at some point in my life. Like, I'm not stuck here, which took me a long time to get used to and to wrap my head around the fact that I'm not stuck in Ireland. I'm not like tied down. Like, if I had to go home, I could go home. Even if I can have like a really great day, even if it's a weekend and I'm like, cool, me and my friends are gonna go into Dublin and we're gonna go exploring, or oh, we're going to the Cliffs of Moher or something. Every single morning I wake up and I go, frick, I don't know if I can do this again. And I have to like actively force myself out of bed, which probably isn't very healthy mentally and physically and emotionally. And so I know that's not really the healthiest way to be, but until I feel completely comfortable and completely settled here, that's what I have to do. Even though I know I don't have to stay here. Like, I could leave if I needed to. It's still hard. I got a couple people asking me on the internet, like, apparently I'm like the au pair person now, but a couple people have asked me, like, how do you get over homesickness, or I'm so homesick, or I hate all this, how do you do this? Because I talk about so often being homesick. So one way I've gotten over it is to understand I'm not stuck here, which took me a long time to understand that I'm not forced to be here. Like, I'm not a slave. I'm not here, like, what's the word? Here against my will. Like, I'm here because me and this family made an agreement, and like, it's working, and I have friends here, and I'm trying to kind of just become my own person and grow up a little bit. that, you know, just completely understanding the fact that I'm not stuck here was a huge help. Incredibly, it just took a huge weight off my shoulders. So that's number one. Number two would be to make friends, which I'm not sure how happens. You know, you go tell people, go make friends, go make friends. Like, it's not that hard. It depends on the situation you're in for me. Like, at school, no problem. At work, not a problem. Here, where I'm stuck in a house with kids, and then in a city where I've never been before, a little bit harder. Going on Facebook and like Tumblr and going on Instagram and all these places and following the au pair tag has helped me. On Facebook, there's like 100 different groups for au pairs, which I can link below. That has definitely helped. On Instagram, actually is where I met Renee, who I've been hanging out with a lot. She's from Holland. And then through her, she's met 2 French girls who are already gone, actually, but we hung out a couple times. And then a girl named Johanna, who's from Germany, and all that. So like, I'm meeting a bunch of people through all these different groups. And there's also a bunch of different groups online that aren't necessarily au pair related, but they're just like getting together with other people who share the same interests as you, which I will also try to link down below. And my other friend Renee, who's American, who just finished au pairing in Germany, is now moving to Austria. She sent me a bunch of this, so I'll post those below. The fact that technology exists is crazy. You know, I can Skype my dad, I can Skype my friends, I can, you know, with Viber, which is what I've been using to text my friends back home, or there's WhatsApp, there's crazy, like Facebook, even email, forget Snapchat, like all these different ways I'm keeping in contact with my friends. Or I'm doing the old-fashioned, because I like to do this, writing a bunch of postcards to my friends. Like this one's for Shauna. This one is for Jamie and her family. Like all these different things. I'm kind of just, it's a way to keep in contact with your friends and family. So if it was back like 100 years later where I had only relied on letters that would come every couple months, so I probably would have gone insane and probably would have just gone home. So just knowing that, like, you know, if I'm really upset, even though there's an 8-hour time difference between Ireland and Oregon, I know I've got a couple friends that I could text or try to get a hold of, and if I'm like, guys, I need to talk right now, and it's 4 in the morning, they're like, dude, I'm up. Like, give me a second, I'm up, turn on the lights, put my glasses on, we're good. Like, so just, like, having my dad and my mom have both talked me off of multiple bridges. Like, I'm just like, I'm gonna go home, I hate everything, you know, and they're just like, shut up, like, get over yourself, calm down, take a breath, go get some water, go take a pee, like, just relax, you're fine. There's a couple people on the internet who I'm talking to, who one lives in, she's in France, and then there's another one who's in England, and the 3 of us have kind of, well, I've been talking with them separately, and they're both like, oh man, I hated today sucked. I'm like, oh man, today, or like, oh, these kids are horrible, or my kids are totally fine. They've got some pretty interesting situations. Even though I've never seen their face, I don't know what their names are, like, I don't know what they look like or anything. Having other people in the same boat as you is very, very helpful. So that's how I've been getting over homesickness. And for anyone who hasn't left yet, like if you're about to leave to go au pair, bringing something from home, like I brought my stuffed dog, like just so I have something kind of just to hug and cuddle that I have at home, or pictures of your friends and family, little trinkets and stuff that I've brought that I'll show. Just little tiny things to make you think of home are very, very useful, at least for me. This might not be the case for everyone else. So when I say little trinkets, like I've got my dream catcher that I've had since I was like, God, like 14 or something, like younger than 14. I've got this, which me and my friends got when we went to the beach together. We all got friendship bracelets, so I brought that. And then this that my little brother gave me as a key necklace thing. It says Journey, it's a compass. It's not focusing, but so just little things like that that kind of have been helping me. This, like, Jamie and her sister Nikki made these pictures and stuff so I can look back at, and there's my, yeah, you know, just different things that I can look back at. So pictures have really been helping me. What's actually really helped me, and Jamie's probably gonna get all emotional about it, is she made me a playlist on my iPod, which I have listened to every single day, because there's songs that, like, there's songs on there that remind me of different situations. Like, what song was it? Timber by Kesha and that other guy, Pitbull or something. Reminds me of this last New Year's, because we were like saying that in her kitchen, making like tacos or something. I don't remember what we were making, but there's a bunch of different songs on there that make me think of different memories, and like my favorite song is on there, and all these different things. So that's really helped. Just having a great support system, guys. I can't stress that enough. And if you don't have a great support system back home, then make one with friends online. Like I said, making all these different friends has just giving me like a boost. I bought this the other day because lavender makes me think of my mom, and so I wanted something that would smell good. Plus, shoes don't really smell that good. Sorry. So little things like that kind of help you get over being homesick. And again, I said it's something that I worry about every single day, multiple times a day. I have to think about, like, Jesus Christ, I want to go home so bad, and then I start crying. It's hard. It's extremely hard. And what we're doing, like what my friend who just finished being an au pair in Germany said, like, what we're doing is insane. You know, typically young women, there's some men who do it as well. You know, young people moving to a country they've never been before, to live with a family they've never met in person, and to work with these kids. And a lot of times it's people who move to different countries and they don't even speak the language, or they know nothing really about, aside from just what they've seen online. So what we're doing is insane. So the fact that if I didn't feel homesick at all, or if I never had these moments of doubt, there's probably something wrong. It's normal to feel homesick, I guess. It sucks. I hate it. I really wish that I would get over it and kind of do my own thing and feel comfortable, but I'm slowly getting there. I've almost been here for 2 months. So just, I don't know. There's not really any one way to say how to get over homesickness. It kind of just depends on who you are as a person. But hopefully this video helps someone. Just, if you have questions or anything, go online or talk to me. And like, I'm more than willing to help anyone if I can. I do hope these videos are helping people. I will at some point make a video explaining some of the issues I've faced. So cultural differences and different situations I've been in, and problems and adapting and stuff. I will make a video about that, because that has been a major reason why I've been so homesick. And English is not my first language, apparently. All I can say is just to breathe and don't act on your first impulse, because if I had, I would have left probably my 3rd day. No, actually my first week here was fine. Probably would have left like my 2nd week of being here. And then I would have felt like a huge failure, and that. Oh, and that brings me to another thing. If you do end up leaving, if you end up leaving because the family doesn't work, or you feel uncomfortable, or something happens, or there's an emergency at home, like, don't feel like a failure if you do leave. That's something that I've had to also wrap my head around, is if I do leave, it's not the end of the world. My mom has explained that, like, if I leave, it's just an experiment that didn't end up going correctly. It's not failure, it's just a failed experiment. Life is about just mistakes and chances. So if you do end up leaving, it might be the best situation for you. But try to stick it out. Don't just leave on your first thought of leaving, because that would suck. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope this video helped people who are going through this. If you have gone through this, or if you've left or stayed, let me know, and I would love to hear your story. Yeah, so bye guys.